Good morning. Happy Sabbath. How are you doing? It's time for the children's story, boys and girls. Let's gather around for a story. This morning, the title of our story is Giddy Up and Wait. It's a VeggieTales story, and it's one of Tennyson's and Nelson's favorite story. Hi, Tennyson. Hi, Nelson. So let's go in and let's get going with our story for today. Cowboy Larry had worked hard all day at the Okie Doke Ranch. He hoped to get out of the hot sun, dust the dirt off, and eat a heap of pizza. As Larry moseyed on up to the Rootin' Tootin' Pizza place, he saw two cowpokes playing a game of horseshoes outside. It looked like fun. "That looks like more fun than a barrel full of root beer," Larry said. "Can I please have a try?" "Sorry, partner. We're playing best out of 11, one of the cowboys said. "You can have a turn when we're done," said the other. "All righty," said Cowboy Larry. Cowboy Larry waited and waited and waited some more. The wait felt longer than the line at a chuck wagon on beef jerky night. They just kept playing and playing. Cowboy Larry's turn never came. "Oh well," Larry shrugged and said, "Guess I'll do something else." Cowboy Larry went inside the Rootin' Tootin' Pizza place. He spotted a video game in the corner. Larry hadn't played a game of Rodeo Roundup in a long time. "Oh boy, I can't wait to play!" exclaimed Larry. As Cowboy Larry moseyed on up to the machine, Felipe, the French buckaroo, jumped in front of him. "It is my turn," said Felipe. "All righty," said Larry. He didn't mind waiting. "I'll just take a turn when you're done." Cowboy Larry waited and waited and waited some more. The wait felt longer than the tail on an old mare. Larry's turn never came. By this time, Cowboy Larry was feeling a little sad. "I know," he said. "I'll play On Top of the Old Meatball on the jukebox. That song always cheers me up." Cowboy Larry headed for the jukebox, but Rattlesnake Ricky beat him to it and loaded the machine with quarters. "Mary Had a Bronkin' Brock" was the best song in the world, according to Rattlesnake Ricky, as he pushed the buttons on the jukebox. "I can hear it over and over again. That song never gets old." "All righty," Cowboy Larry said. "I'll just listen to On Top of the Old Meatball when it's my turn." Larry waited and waited and waited some more. The wait felt longer than a stagecoach ride from Sarsaparilla Flats to Rawhide City. Mary Had a Bronkin' Brock played once, it played twice, it played again and again and again. Cowboy Larry's turn never came. So, poor Cowboy Larry, he was feeling sadder than a pig in a washtub on Saturday night. He didn't think he would have any fun that day. That was until Sheriff Bob burst into the pizza place. "I have big news," Sheriff Bob announced. "There's a new horse at the Okie Doke Ranch. She's the finest Palomino I've ever seen." "Hoo-wee!" That surprised cowboys spit out their root beer. "Hee-haw!" they cried. They all wiped the root beer off their faces and rushed outside to the Okie Dokie Ranch to check out the new Palomino. Cowboy Larry followed them. He couldn't wait to take a turn riding the new filly. So they all found the new Palomino at the Okie Dokie Corral at the Okie Dokie Ranch, just as Sheriff Bob had said. She was the finest horse they had ever seen. "I want to be the first to ride her," the Carrot brothers cried at the same time. "No, me first, please," said Felipe. "I reckon I like to ride her first," said Rattlesnake Ricky. "I have an idea," said Cowboy Larry. "We can draw straws from that hay over there. Whoever draws the longest straw can go first, and the cowboy with the second longest can go next, and we keep going like that until everyone gets a turn." Felipe was too excited to wait. He just jumped right on the horse. Giddy up, he yelled. He bounced up and down on the saddle. Then Felipe lost control. He bounced off the horse and onto the dirt. Rattlesnake Ricky didn't wait for Felipe to get back on. Rattlesnake Ricky jumped on the Palomino and galloped off. While Felipe was rolling around in the dirt, everybody else watched on the fence. "It's my turn next," said one buckaroo. "No, it's my turn," said another. The cowboys were more excited than two birds at a worm convention. They began to push each other. Suddenly, the two arguing cowboys tumbled off the fence, and they landed straight in a squishy pit of mud. Felipe was upset with Rattlesnake Ricky. "It is still my turn," Felipe cried, wiping the mud from his hat. Then the little pea jumped on the horse and squeezed himself in the saddle with Ricky. As Felipe shoved and pushed, the horse began to wobble. Ricky's hat fell over his eyes. He lost control of the Palomino. Whoops! Felipe and Rattlesnake Ricky tumbled off the Palomino and right into a trough of messy pig slop. Splat! The cowboys were not hurt, but the poor Palomino was in more trouble than a coffee bean in a grinder. She rolled out of the corral and out of control. She rolled and rolled right for the canyon. "Oh no!" shouted Cowboy Larry. He grabbed a rope and hurried after the horse. Cowboy Larry raced to save the Palomino. He lassoed the horse in the nick of time and rode her back to the corral. The other cowpokes felt bad about how they had acted. The Carrot brothers were soaked in mud. Felipe and Ricky were coated in pig slop. "You're right, Larry," admitted Rattlesnake Ricky. "We should take turns and do things fair and square." "Tell us more about the drawing of the straws," said Felipe. "How do these look?" the cowpokes asked, showing their drawings of drinking straws to Larry. Cowboy Larry smiled and said, "Let me explain how this works." After hearing Cowboy Larry's explanation, the cowpokes drew straws from the hay. Larry didn't get the longest straw, but they were so grateful that Cowboy Larry had saved the Palomino, they let him go first. They all took turns riding the horse until everyone had a chance to ride. After the ride, the cowboys went back to the Rootin' Tootin' Pizza place. Cowboy Larry played on top of the Ole Meatball on the jukebox. Felipe and Rattlesnake Ricky both wanted to play the video game. "You go first," said Felipe. "No, you," said Rattlesnake Ricky. "No, after you," said Felipe. "After you, I insist," said Ricky. Cowboy Larry grinned. Taking turns sure made things round here much nicer. So that's the end of the story. So what's the Bible verse for today's story is taken from Psalms 112, verse 5. And it says, "Good things will come to those who are willing to lend freely. Good things will come to those who are fair in everything they do." So the moral of the story is that children, when we're playing, we should always try to take turns so that everybody gets to share in the fun. So I hope you enjoyed this story, and I hope I get to see you real soon, okay? So enjoy the rest of the Sabbath day, and see you again real soon. Bye for now. Bye.